These things, we pass each other a baton. I've done my part there. It's time for somebody else to go and play that part whilst I also move up. I see this as an upgrade to all the things I've done. I've been in Chancellor College. I have been an activist. I have been a legislator before. This, to me, is time for me now to have a legacy as a politician who is now making a statement of what will be my swan song. What is it that I'm going to say I did to this nation, for this nation? And that can only be done in a political arena.
Speaking of your legacy, your name came into the limelight during the struggle for academic freedom at the University of Malawi. Do you think your swayed, along with that of others, still matters today?
Crucial. It is very, very crucial. Wherever I go, the legacy of the academic freedom struggle is very, very crucial. I mean, I'll tell you just simply, the Secretary General to DPP is someone whom we were we're on opposite ends. I was saying he must apologize for having broken the principles of academic freedom. And at the end of the day, I prevailed over him. We meet again. This time, he is Secretary General for DPP and Publicity Secretary. If you look at the pivotal people on the other end, there are people whom I've gone to battle with before. I mean, politically, I'm not talking about fighting, but what I'm trying to say is, in a way, it's time for academic freedom struggle part 2. Because now, the people who were key on either side, the very president of DPP was the Minister of Education when I was leading the academic freedom struggle. So not only am I proud, I think it has given me a head start. It has given me a momentum so that when I stand up to talk, I actually know that, oh, that's the person who said shoot to kill. So now they are sitting there as SG. Oh, that one is the one who washed this mess until it spilled over. Much more important, these are people whom I have set on a table, done political battle with, and defeated resoundingly. So yeah, it has given me a lot of, it has fueled my passion, and I feel more than happy, more than ready.
As a freedom fighter, much as your legacy is there, but then we have seen some activists, some being labeled as activists, taking to the streets any other issue, even a petty issue. Based on your experience, and now that you're in the MCP, what's your advice to these people?
I will never speak against people who take to the streets. That you never get from me. Because I am a child whose politics was born from the streets. If I did not believe in the power of the people to demonstrate, I wouldn't be sitting where I'm sitting. So my problem with people is not them going to the streets. My problem is validity. Are you going there for a valid reason? 1. Number 2, I also don't believe in people who go there for violence. I believe in the democracy, in the democratic principles. 1994, Malawi went to the polls and decided to have multi-party politics. That meant we are saying you are allowed to think differently. You are allowed to be different as long as we can sit down and map. And I think I'll quickly move on to the issue of violence. We have seen a lot of intolerance in this country. And this intolerance is showing that at political party level, we need to train each other that it is not okay, it is not going to be tolerated to stand up and actually say, if you see a person wearing a t-shirt like what we saw yesterday, wearing a t-shirt of my Congress Party, Momoche, okay? If you do things like that, you remind us that you are the same institution in Aocha Banjalatamba. What I'm trying to say is this. I am a child born in the street. I led the academic freedom struggle, but not once did we tolerate or advocate violence. Being in a democracy means coexisting. It means doing what you saw Malay Congress Party doing in Mzuzu, when everybody thought just because we're having a rally at Ekwendeni and DPP is having a rally in Mzuzu, we'll fight. We issued an internal memo and addressed everyone that we are not having anyone being violent. We're a peace-loving party. We abide by Ngojazinai, and our leader is peaceful. We believe in unity. We believe in obedience. Anyone who is seen to attack even verbally will be removed from the party. My Secretary General yesterday made it very clear that even if we've been attacked, blatant people calling that we should be torched, we should be burnt, not a single Malaya Congress Party member is going to retaliate. Our retaliation is go and register to make sure that thugs like this, killers like this, don't come back into government again. That's the retaliation we want from our members. What I want to say here is, I'm part of a senior membership that is led by Dr. Lazarus Chakwera at party level, that has declared by policy, in writing, in practice, that MCP has no room, no tolerance at all for any violence of any kind. When we differ with you, we are going through the channels of this country. That is why we appealed to the police to make sure that the law takes its course. We did not take matters into our hands, and we've made sure that just like we did during the academic freedom days, let us follow democratic principles. Let's follow peace. Let's follow unity. We are a party that is supported in all regions of this country. You go to the south, we have people support us. Go to the east, we have people. Go to the north, go to the central region, come to Lakeshore. My issue is very simple. We have no room for nepotism. You will not hear us say people from the north can never be leaders like DPP. You will not hear us call Lower Shire people animals. We believe in unity. We know that we can only win in 2025 if we preach unity, not if we want to intimidate people. We can't win elections by threats. We've got to win them by delivering, and that's what we are doing.
Given the current political environment, are you not losing sleep since September 2025 is fast approaching?
What would the indicator of even making anyone dream that we are losing sleep? Because look, all the indicators are which party is being followed by people. I think you would watch just our latest 2 rallies. We have been receiving people from every party. Just the other day we were in the north, we received 150 from Afford. If I talk about DPP, the other day you heard the whole Secretary General telling you that they sat down and agreed that they are going to vote for Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. What else do you need as an indicator that even DPP knows we are winning this? Their whole Secretary General endorsed the party, endorsed the president in broad daylight, and we were not even there, on his own. And he even added Chipani Chatu, not just Malawi Congress Party, which he didn't say MCP. You could have said it's a slip of the tongue. He said MCP Chipani Chatu. So if a whole SG of opposition is asking you all to join Malawi Congress Party, how can you talk of sleeping? We are ascending at an astronomical level. Now every musician of worth their salt wants to join us, and they're singing songs on their own for us, not only in Malawi, even in Zambia. Check. I mean, the other day I was even being given something from Tanzania. Now, look, the truth of the matter is Chakwera and Malawi Congress Party are the talk of everybody. Because people can see, we used to have blackouts, they are no longer there. Why is this important to the villager? It means those with small businesses, like barber shops, Airtel monies, and those with the salons can actually do their business. Go to farmers, they'll tell you, we have never sold maize to the price that we are. The other day when Karonga, they were telling us it's sold groundnuts. And I think, was it Friday, we were with the Chinese, they were cementing that the deal they have with us, who can bring groundnuts and they'll be buying us. They've even slashed taxes. Now, and the president went there. Those are the results that he has brought. So everybody knows we are the winning team here.
Dr. KABWIRA, with these people joining the MCP, there are stations that they are being lured to join the party. How true is this?
Number one, politics is about luring people. So if anyone thinks our formula for luring is working, join us. Come and learn how we do it. But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, The way KABWIRA is governing this country is luring people. And if you are going to blame us for how good he is, then look, that's what we promised we'll do. And we've got the best at leadership. I think instead of sitting there and saying, they say if you can't beat them, join us. Come, join us. Our luring philosophy is not a problem. All we are doing is fixing roads, bringing the train, doing what 41 years no one has been able to do, making sure people are fed, making sure that people get NIF, making sure that Tugulapa Komo reaches everyone, making sure that people get loans where they need, making sure that university students actually have a fund and they can go to school. That's the formula. The formula is having KABWIRA. Simple. Those who don't have KABWIRA, you are in serious trouble because you don't have the luring machine. Ours is that one, and he is managing. Everyone is coming to us because we have the magic bullet called Dr. Lazarus Makati KABWIRA. So anyone who misses that, you are going nowhere. And I tell you, losing is a very bad thing. Don't join camps of people who are telling you that, oh, I'm selling this car, but yesterday it broke down. Hey, the license, I bought it. All this noise you are seeing them making, it is because they are frustrated and they are scared. They can see that this team is going. I'll give you an example. We met in Mzuzu. From Mzuzu to today, how many rallies has DPP done? One. Ours, we have been there, I think, over 6 times. We are going into the villages. We are the people going to hear people, to hear what their problems are, and doing all we can to solve them. If you call that luring, go and ask Danlu. He will tell you why he has joined. He has told you it's because of the Maganjira Road that is being put there. He has wanted his home to be developed. We are putting up a hospital, state of the art, in Mangochi. That's why you see people from Mangochi coming. Go to Lower Shire, you go and see Shire Valley transformation. I don't know how many kilometers I can end up mentioning the wrong ones. But what I'll give you an example of is, I started moving. I reached the point of falling asleep because of how much I couldn't keep up with the development. Go to Mchinji. 40 health centers have been fixed. That's what is luring people. Development galore. People are failing to breathe with KABWIRA's development.
In case you're just tuning in, this is MBC Exclusive. My name is Adina Femlamba, and my guest today is the Publicity Secretary of the Malawi Congress Party, Dr. JESSIE KABWIRA. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. This is MBC Exclusive. My name is Alina Femlamba, and we're continuing this conversation with the Publicity Secretary of the Malawi Congress Party, Dr. JESSIE KABWIRA. Dr. KABWIRA, with your luring machine, yes, as you put it, as a party, do you have time to vet these people, assess their integrity before they join?
Oh my God, I told you that we believe in 4 cornerstones. If there is a party that has a vetting machine, you should remember where we've come from. We come from a party that had MIP, that had all these things that you're seeing, intelligence that you've got. This is the home of vetting. Talk about Malawi Congress Party. You are vetted by an area chairman. If you don't even fit into that, you will be rejected big time. We have not only vetted, we make sure we don't associate with toxic people. They have been vetted. There are some whom we have refused. Even for me, as I am coming here, every day I get phone calls. We want to join you, want to join you. But some have not replied because they are going through the what? The vetting system. Look, we have a national executive of very skilled people. They are people who are responsible for recruitment. We have intelligence systems. We also have political affairs. All these people do not, you don't see them on the podium without us knowing where they've come from. Remember, we are not a party of a certain family. We are not a party of someone. We are a party that is truly owned by the grassroots, by the people. So the people themselves have systems which operate at branch level. And the Malay Congress Party, you don't enter at the top. You enter first. All these people you are seeing on the podium, they will have entered at area level first. From there, that's when it reaches up to the top. Even if you go to Danlo, you go to Skefa, you go to Oladi Musa, you go to Gresena, Jeffrey, they first had to go at area level. And it is the area that gets you checked right up to district, region, until you reach NEC. Oh yes, they've been vetted. The Congress Party is a foundational, institutional party that's owned by the people.
At the center of it all, government's efforts to better the country's economy are visible, as you put it, but still there are challenges. As the publicity secretary, can you just share with Malawians right now some of the plans you have put in place to ensure that the plan that the MCP has, specifically the High Five agenda, is aligning amidst all these challenges that the country is facing?
Yeah, the party, which is the one that is forming government, knows very well that if there is one issue that is bothering Malawians, it's the issue of hunger. Whether we want to talk about big ideas and whatever, bottom line, when people are hungry, they can't work, they can't go to school, they cannot do the development agenda. So we have put plans to make sure that where food needs to be given out, before we even talk about let's give them loans or get them educated so that they can take care of themselves, the short-term plans have been put. We've also put long-term plans to make sure that NIF is rolled out in time, because when people are taking care of themselves, and remember, Malay 2063 is about creation of wealth for people to be autonomous, not only Malawi, but for Malawi to be autonomous, it has to be able to stand on its own. So there's scaling up of NIF, making sure Ntugulabakomo is scaled out, but much more important, we need to deal with the debt burden. We know very clear that we inherited a huge debt burden, which is going up, especially because of the climate shocks that we are going through. So we are putting up plans, and if someone says, what are we doing? Number one, you've heard Dr. KABWIRA talk about the ATM strategy. This strategy is what we are using to make sure that we link tourism, agriculture produce, and mining. Because of time, I will not go into detail, but number one, it's the ATM strategy, to make sure that when we are able to generate this money, generate the forex, then we reduce the dependency, we also reduce the burden. Well, if we are able to put up these roads using our own money, and we're able to have good cover, and we are buying fuel without it just being a road fuel, that's why the 41 years capacity to bring in fuel, was such a big thing, because now we are bringing in fuel at a cheaper cost. And when we increase that railway to a point that the railway now reaches in Blantyre, for example, we are going to see that petrol, diesel will be cheaper. Fertilizer will be arriving in the country as a landlocked country at a cheaper rate. The plans we are making is to look at how do we reduce costs that farmers incur in order for them to trade, so that we link that trade with our agriculture, with the mining, and make sure that we are moving, right? This is what the president is trying to look at. We want to see what can bring us forex. The tourist of today is not just being looked at as a foreigner, but even the Malawians. How do we get them to sustain the economy so that they are tourists, but they're visiting their own places? Because due to COVID, we learned that we can't depend on outside tourists. We also have to empower our own. So there's the ATM strategy, right? The other thing that we are really looking at is to make sure that our civil service is functional. That's why you've seen that Dr. KABWIRA is the only one whom in 15 years launched Malay School of Government. It is one of the transformation blueprints that the former president, the late VP, was talking about. Why? Because it fits in the MIP 1. Yeah. So if you look at what we are doing, what we are trying to do put mechanisms, systems that will catalyze our agrarian economy, link it to tourism, and make sure that the mining is there for us. Now you look at even our universities, we are doing our best to make sure that youth unemployment is fought. The ATM strategy is also looking at job creation, so that the youth, instead of us depending on just giving them NIF, which we want to scale up, they should also be part of the job creation. The minute we reduce unemployment for the youth, you see that teen pregnancies will go down, you see that teen marriages will go down, you will also see that digitization will scale up. Because the youth of today, most of their jobs, one of their major skills is digitization. So, to me, it's like when someone says, what is KABWIRA doing? I will tell you that what he's trying to do is to make sure that the agrarian economy, it does its part to reduce the debt burden, so that we are autonomous and we make our own decisions. And also, we make sure that we are putting money in the pockets of the women, the farmers who are men also, the farmers who are women, and the youth, so that they can go to colleges, pay for their fees without having to beg from anyone. We create jobs, they work. We don't suffer from the brain drain. Because one of the things, even if you look at doctors, we are training quite a lot, but we are losing them because we are not paying them what they want. So if we grow our base to the point where we are able to even keep those whom we train, this country will move much better than it is moving. I do want to emphasize that there are people out there lying to you that KABWIRA is doing nothing. Look, where the country was financially, it will take time for us to see the results. It's like if you want to buy a car in your house, you save, and what this means is cutting some of the things that you're doing. You can't expect to eat meat every day, to be eating at KFC every day, to be able to do what you're doing before you were saving. What Dr. KABWIRA is trying to do is putting a foundation so that the mistakes that were there. Now, putting this foundation means actually kututura mabala, which already been there, because we're having to clean these sores, the wounds that were left behind. Now, when we are removing them, it's not funny, it's painful. But if we are going to clean this for us to heal, it's going to take persistence and a lot of trust in Dr. KABWIRA.
When should Malawians expect to start yielding, much as these policies are being put in place?
I think we should start by recognizing that they've started yielding in other ways. I think if you go to Doha, you go to Karonga, and you ask them when are they going to yield good prices, they will tell you we've already started. If you go to those who borrowed NIF and returned and are now getting the agrarian loans, they will tell you we've already started yielding, right? So it depends. If you go to people in Lower Shire, they said they didn't have food, they've already been given. So it depends on which one. But I think what you are trying to get me to articulate here is, when do we expect our economy to heal? And I will say this is a process. I cannot give figures, but what I want to tell you is, Dr. KABWIRA and Malay Congress Party will do everything humanly possible to cure this at the earliest. What can be done yesterday has been done. What can be done tomorrow is going to be done. What will require 5 years will be done. And we are engaging Malawians, giving reports. If you go to parliament, you look at what this party, through its ministers, is doing. You will also be able to see what this president, through what he answers in parliament, is doing. And we remain accountable to Malawians, and they should not get tired of holding us accountable. That's why we are there.
Dr. KABWIRA,
Yeah.
it was nice having you in this edition.
No, and before I forget, I just forgot one thing which I want everybody to know.
Go on.
And the message is very simple. 2025, Dr. Lazarus McCarthy is going to win, and he will win resoundingly. I think this comes out better. Kuti CHAKWIRA winaso, boma ndilomweli. Zikomo kwambiri.
Well, you've heard it all, and that's what I had for you in this edition of MBC Exclusive. My guest today was Dr. JESSIE KABWIRA, the Publicity Secretary of the Malawi Congress Party. My name is Alina Femlamba, and until next time, stay inspired.